What is up,
What is
gamers?
up, gamers? Alright, my name is Sushi. I'm joined here with Flare Bear.
What's up? Yeah, it's a little sneak peek of how our commentary ends up going.
Yeah, we're gonna be commentating here today, blackpear versus Celeste, any percent league. Yeah, it should be a really good.
Yeah, any match that me and Sushi sign up for, that means it's a good one.
Yep, this is a fact.
One, because you're blessed with this commentary duo, and second of all, because we sign up for the hype matches.
This is all true information.
Yeah, blackpear is just for some runner context, is sitting at a 30:01. Very good time, but also a very unfortunate time at the same time.
Very
And
true.
then Psyched is sitting at a 29:28. And he's been popping off a bit lately. I wouldn't be surprised if he got a run close to or below that in this race. Because he has a ton of time save in Ridge in his PB. By that I mean like 30 seconds. So would not be surprised.
Yeah, for sure. Sykes definitely like he's more hot right now for sure on the any percent hustle. I mean, we talked about how a lot of runners are probably going to improve throughout this league, and Psyched is definitely one of those players who's starting to show up. This is just Forsaken City. We have a little delay on blackpear, but that should be fine. We do use the in-game time in Celeste, so that time you see in the top left corner or at the bottom beneath the player's game feed is what you're gonna see. That's the time that matters.
Yeah, I'm Sushi's older brother.
Yeah.
When this league started, the lowest and highest times world record was at like a 28 1x, I think. I don't remember exactly. And the lowest time was like a low 32. And now we're only in week 2. And the lowest time is now 30:45. By me, of course.
I made that.
But not to make that about me, just to say that whenever the league started, if there's anyone that felt they were slacking even a little bit on their time, they already real quick cleaned that up, pushing themselves more to their potential. Would we say Psyched is the race favorite? By a slight amount, just based off of... I mean, I can look at the spreadsheet, because just by PBs and times alone, yeah, he's lower. In terms of consistency, I'll have to actually check. Because we have stats of how their races have gone. I can look at their average times and stuff.
I mean, yeah, it is only the second week, so while this two pair is not going to happen any once in a while, we do have some small data from week 1. But these players have probably been improving on the daily, so. But so far, it's pretty standard. These first 2 chapters are quite one-dimensional, you could say, in the speedrun, in comparison to the other chapters, that is.
I actually think this is closer than it seems. Because, just so far, their averages are, a mid 31 for blackpear is his average time, and a high 30 for Psyched. So, like, that's close enough that it could go either way, because, like, I think blackpear has a lot of room to lower that average. He can easily just get, like, a mid 30, and if Psyched stays like right on his average or below it, then that would be a point for blackpear. So yeah, I would say psyched is the very slight favorite.
But yeah, at the end of the day, we are playing 3 matches here, and all 3 do matter. While you do get an extra point for winning the series, you do also get any point for game 1, so we'll be looking forward to that.
Blackpear's 2 seconds behind. It's more even than it looks, just because of their desync and timers.
And again, it's especially we can pay attention all days at the time stage from movement, but a lot of things that are going to decide races like these that are this close is the mistakes that these players are going to make.
Yeah, and it's gone smooth so far, you know. Normally, especially in my case, you get like terrible cities and races, but I haven't really seen any mishaps from them so far. They're each on solid paces for continuing a run at least. So yeah, the beginning doesn't matter that much. It would have to be an incredibly close race for the time save that you get from city and site to matter that much. So just sit tight, wait for something silly to happen.
Like this huge mess section, there are a lot of tight cycle rooms here that can definitely sway the lead in a couple of ways. Psych there, I think he missed a cycle, but a good recovery.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really clean so far. There's not much to say.
Usually you wait for a player to mess up, but these two are holding their ground. Staring each other in the eye.
Oh, psyched. Okay, he's just playing it safe. I thought he was about to go for the corner boost setup. He may have and just missed it. Right,
That's definitely one of the newer tricks. 241 button, I think I saw.
Yeah.
That's very clean from Psych so far, out of resort. But especially if you've seen some top Celeste play, like the 3rd place, you'd know that there's a very important trick coming up in resort that can decide a lot.
Blackpear is losing a lot of time as of now, by the way. His laundry was really rough. The 3rd huge mess section is water. But Psych, okay, doesn't grab the checkpoint. Don't know about that play. Okay, grabs it now, but that pretty much almost evens it up.
A checkpointless demo dash is something that a lot of players go for in their PB attempts. However, in a race, it's incredibly risky because it's quite possibly it's one of the easiest place to die, and it's incredibly punishing. Blackpear showing us another death in case you can see the first time.
Blackpear pretty much losing the same amount of time just by taking so many tries. I respect the checkpointless from Psyched, even though it just lost him a bunch of time.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny.
You know, you hate to see it.
Okay. This last room is being really mean. Remember when this was a clean race? Now I just don't want to comment on their pace because I don't know how much time each of them has lost. He's grabbing the berry.
This is what happens in Resort, dude. I mean...
Alright, okay.
This last room
Can I talk now? Alright.
Yeah.
Now they're only 5 seconds apart. Oh, dude, look at him wobbling in the background. That was his message of capital A's.
Yeah. But going into the Golden Ridge, we don't have anything quite as crafty or as punishing. Or we do, when it comes to the auto-scroller skip, but... you haven't seen get some cool movement, like Psych doing that corner boost over there.
Ooh.
Very nice auto-scroller skip from Psych. He's talked about before about how that's not really a good trick for him, but makes it look easy. And nothing, some smooth movement throughout the Golden Ridge. blackpear actually going for a variant, not the Ultra. So we'll actually lose a small bit of time over Psych, but again, we talked before, it's these mistakes that make Celeste, your time loss much more influential than your movement. Although, better movement does...
Psyched is gaining a couple seconds here. It's up to like a 10-second lead now, or slightly less actually. Like 9.
Into the cliff face section. I feel like this race has been a bit mundane so far, maybe a crazy resort. But we're leveling out here on the Golden Ridge. Actually, blackpear eating a death in probably one of the worst rooms of the chapter. It's a difficult one, not really a gimmicky one.
Okay.
And Psych looks like he's gonna strike first, yeah.
So, no, blackpear. Missing that wall bouncer, that was definitely a missed input. Yeah, that ridge from Psyched saved like 27 seconds off of his PB. But I still don't know if he's ahead after that resort, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, we love to bully Psyched for his PB, but... Alright, going into chapter 5. If you live under a rock, we complete the B-side here. It's been in the speedrun now for a while.
Yeet! From Psyched. Nice. There's like a 15-20 second gap just because of blackpear having a rough cliff face. Oh, okay. Pause buffer strats. Easy fast cycle from Psyched. It's gonna be a good tape time.
Tape room can be difficult, but like making it look easy, as he does.
Oh, what is this? Okay. Scary. Alright. Alright, so yeah, there's like a 20-second gap. But fear not. Psyched exclaimed to us before the run that he was going to miss Bub's drop 5 times. So that should do the trick to even up the race here.
Oh no. Oh no. Bub's drop is this trick that basically makes the 5B route faster. Basically it's a 2-frame input.
Psyched, please! Yeah, so those 2 fails are each just like him pressing jump like a frame or 2 late, it looks like, because those were really close. Come on. There we go. Yeah, it was just putting it too late every time, but now blackpear has a 2-second lead by getting it first try. Oh, that bubble skip. I have not seen that before. It's the exact same speed.
Yeah, it's the same cycle, but it's interesting.
Yeah, I've never seen that before.
But yeah, we definitely, it's very close now. Blackpear with a slight lead, but out of 5B, going into the mirror here, we can definitely see a lot change. But usually for a lot of players, this is where they feel a lot more comfortable. Once you get past the Bubs drop, 5B is actually usually considered one of the easier B-sides. It's still a B-side, which means a lot of time backing up strategies is very hard. A small misinput can mean the world, but ultra dashes from blackpear. And yeah, we're into the Theo section here. 5B Theo is usually considered easier than 5A Theo, but nonetheless we still have a lot of cool mechanics because of the way Theo works. Picking up objects in general, you kind of store momentum when you dash into them. Flarebear usually has a good explanation for this.
5B Theo being considered easier than 5A Theo just pretty much means that every screen has nothing hard to it except for the gauntlet screen.
Yeah, it's like showed us that there. That's kind of unfortunate. Oh. Well, on the other screen, blackpear getting a 230. That's definitely a good 5B. You know, not a lot of mistakes on his end. Taking the lead into reflection and, you know, probably feeling decent about it, I'd say.
Yeah, blackpear is one of the 5B old boys. One of the ones who was doing the route before it was common. He has a lot of experience in that. That's why he does things like that ultra strat in the very last room of Unraveling. Yeah, blackpear is really stylish.
He's definitely one of the more unique runners because back before the Bubs drop trick was found, there was actually a corner boost strategy, which was incredibly precise and also incredibly punishing in 5B. That basically had the same effect as the Bubs drop, but he was one of the runners who pioneered the 5B route. So. Ooh,
okay.
pretty smooth for both our runners so far. The hollow section is very movement intensive. For the early stages of reflection, a lot of the deaths aren't too punishing. So it's really just not dying is the important. There are a ton of small optimizations you can do, as blackpear attempted a corner boost there. We'll see if Psych has any better luck with it. But, ooh, that is the opposite of the luck we wanted.
Yeah, it's really, really common to lose a lot of time in this checkpoint, the Hollows checkpoint. It's one of the hardest to do optimally in the game. It's a really rough one.
It's actually...
Okay, that's not the
Yeah,
boost that he wanted, but he somehow still barely survived.
Oh, Psych's gonna hit a wall there, and he's gonna have to get that feather. Or he's not gonna feather preserve. If you exit a feather, there's an animation where Madeline's body turns from the circular orb to the person, the human being. So because of that, you lose time. It's better to pick up a feather while in the feather state, so you don't have to see that animation.
And that's a mechanic that comes up like a lot in Reflection. And like a lot of times it often requires you get like really solid angles in your feathers to not lose speed and have optimal movements that you can like make it in time before the feather runs out.
Yeah, fun fact, Celeste players actually play with a TI-83 right next to them to make sure they can get that trigonometry down. Those feathers. But we've been in the Badline section for a while. Well, Psych just joined us, but blackpear has been in for a while. This section usually hoists a lot of the more punishing deaths in this chapter. The movement is actually usually considered more simpler. There are a couple of cheeky corner boosts you can do here and there, but other than that, it's just a lot of either getting hyper or getting ultra speed as fast as possible and hitting battle line.
Yeah, like the battle line fight is one of the most fast-paced sections in the game, but at the same time, it's really not that difficult compared to do to some other sections in the level, or in the game in general.
Very nice ultra dashes from Psych. Or ultra dash, not ultra dashes. But nonetheless, despite his effort, we definitely saw blackpear pick up in 5B with the bub shop failures from Psych and just some other things in between. He's definitely looking to convincingly carry this lead through Chapter 6.
Scary. He's fine. Missing the reverse hyper into ultra. That's a really annoying one, because like there are multiple ways doing the same mistake again.
Oh
no. Okay, now it's close again, pretty much tied up because of
I should not have spoken.
Yeah, like there are multiple different ways for you to fail or miss input that reverse hyper ultra, and like all of them result in your death. So it's a really it's a really silly strat.
Yeah, neck and neck here, basically. Going to the end of Chapter 6. Wow. We've seen a fair share of failure from both these runners. But here they are, right next to each other. Alright, this last room. I'm gonna commentator curse one of them here. It's notorious for being one of the more annoying rooms. It's extremely punishing if you die. Psych actually going for a better feather cycle there. And yeah, you can see him catch up for it, and wow. The in-game timers aren't quite the same, but when you're just looking at these two screens, how much closer can you get?
Yeah, Psyched has a 4.5 second lead, if I want to be specific.
But that lead is almost negligible when you consider that we have an 8.5-minute chapter coming up here. That is the summit. Both runners are capable of getting sub-30s here if they play extraordinarily well, but
8.5 if it goes well, yeah. What are their... let me look at their summit averages.
I should also look at that spreadsheet. I mean, we only have data from one race, so it's quite,
Actually,
it's not very telling.
in comparison to his standards, his summit averaged for races, even though there's not a large sample size of races to compare from, his summit is really weak, just by the looks of it. His best is an 855, and his average is a 904. So he's gotten summits up to 918. And if he gets anything above 9 minutes, then that is an easy gap for blackpear to bring back a win. What is his?
Yeah, usually summit is the chapter where a lot of times we like to say the better player shines through just because this. Oh, stop. Having some trouble shining through the glass there. But blackpear too, also responding with the death, and they're right back. They're right back to. But yeah, we talk about how long this chapter is. We have 2 dashes, so you definitely get to dash a lot more. Psych is struggling a lot to get going.
Yeah, so looking at blackpear's averages, his are also weak by his standards, so I actually don't know. Like, I wouldn't give this to anyone right now. I wouldn't even consider Psych the favorite anymore. I'm just not sure at this point. Because blackpear's average is also above 9 minutes.
That was a really bad death. That's
Yeah.
gonna be blackpear springing ahead. Both of them have been struggling a bit the summit, but that death is really bad at this end. The end of the Rim of 500. Probably one of the more punishing deaths from that checkpoint.
Almost as bad as it gets, except for, like, accidentally retrying after you've completed a battle line screen.
Yeah, that too. But again, there's a lot of time left to be made up. I'm sure this gap can just be made up through Psych's fast play, even if blackpear doesn't make too many mistakes. But yeah, blackpear. Oh, corner. That's not doing well. But we need to see here, because if we want to get that sync up again, blackpear needs to get stuck on one of these rooms. But so far he's nailing it. This long cycle room can provide a bit of trouble for even our best runners, but that ultra dash is working out for him as he sneaks under. Very nicely done from blackpear. Now it's going to be Psych's turn to respond, as blackpear is going to be proactive with these triple ultras, putting him even further ahead from Psych. And Psych's actually gonna mess up that long room there. It's looking grim. Looks like second tries the charm, but another very weird death from
Bonking his head there twice in a row.
And yeah, blackpear, out of 1,500, distinctly ahead from some. Strawberry for good luck here as blackpear continues up the summit. Some nice ultra dashes from him. We'll collect that one into the auto scroller room. This is definitely blackpear's game to win here. Again, blackpear does have the lower PB here. I wouldn't consider an upset if he does win, but definitely odds are against him.
That snowball was such a troll. Like, taking a big death there. Fortunately, the death cycle for that room is easily doable with the exact same strats. It's not really that bad, but yeah, still annoying. But yeah, like, as much as by stats you could call it an upset, both of these guys, like I said, they have a lot of room to improve on what their averages are so far.
And the 2,500 meter section for blackpear. Sykes will be joining him shortly. We're gonna see one of the two intentional deaths here. After blackpear gets that key. Gets you down to the start of the room faster. Quite efficient. But it looks like, unless blackpear does not go for door skip and loses a whopping 9 years, this race will probably come down to 3,000 meters. The final stretch of the game. There is one door for blackpear. Will we see two? Of course we see two. We always see two. Blackpear making it look easy. The infamous door. And now Sykes' turn to respond. Yeah, blackpear so far this summit has been absolutely destroying it. Heading off into 3K. Indoor skip for works wonders. Missing the orb there for some. Gets too a bit worried, but blackpear here. Counting down the flags already. There's 30 of them. That's 30, or 20, 26 more until he's going to might possibly beat Sykes here. But Sykes on his tail here. And while the lead does look quite big, it's nothing that a couple of big deaths can't change. We've seen runners skip flags before, we've seen runners die on flags before. We've seen it all. The question is, will we see it right now? The blackpear effectively moving throughout the downdraft. Some small mistakes, but no death. So he's definitely going to be holding on right now. And Sykes seems to be playing very fast here. I think he knows he wants it. blackpear's just gotta give it to him. Oh, but he bonks his head with a retry. Very short one, but again, when you're already behind, how much time can you afford to lose?
The segment of updraft that blackpear's in right now is really punishing. One death in one of these flags is like a lot of time, just because the gameplay here is so floaty and long. But it looks like he should be good. Yeah, updraft.
Oh, blackpear.
Oh, missing the wall bounce there. I spoke too soon. Yeah, updraft is, I want to say, the scariest section of 3,000 meters.
And just a quick second, I think, well, we do talk about, when we mention who's going to be the favorite for this match, we do put in terms of their PBs, and blackpear's PB is actually a 30:15, if I recall correctly.
It's a 30:01.
30:01, he did beat it recently, that is right. That's an unfortunate time, can I just say. But he's performing exceptionally well. There's almost no time left for Sight to make up. Of course, you can't rule anything out until Flag 1 has been conquered. But
dare I say he skips Flag 2 and then dies on it. He does not. I wanted to wait a little bit just to be safe.
yeah, you never know.
Yeah, this is going to bump up his average a lot.
Wow. 30:07 for blackpear? 30:06? 30:06.
837 summit.
Yeah, that's a very good summit.
That very well could have been a sub 30 for him. That's 5 seconds off of his PB.
I mean, yeah, we talked. Sight had the lead going into this chapter, but that kind of sums it all up. And even then, you look at blackpear's. Look at blackpear's deaths there, 16. But Psych there, finishing with a 30-33. Even then, we talk about that summit making a world of difference there, the 30-second gap there. But these runners were close.
Yeah, like if I'm remembering right, he had like probably 15 seconds or more to save on resort in that run that he just did. Like it was a really rough pace out of the beginning. He was behind Psyched too. I don't remember what his reflection time was on blackpear's end, but like for the most part, the ending of the run was solid. 235B, 837 summit. Yeah, he's got me worked up for a PB now.
I mean, we can see from either of these runners. I think it's easy to hype up blackpear, but Psyched for sure. We talked about that run. What, 2 bubs drop failures, a checkpointless demo fail, and just probably an unsatisfactory summit. We'll see how the coin flips, you know? So did someone say game number 2?
No. But
okay.
But it's happening right now though.
This is the glitch exhibition, I propose.
Mhm.
Man, can't wait to see menu storage. Anyways, but yeah, we definitely saw a lot of back and forth that race. I mean, Demo Dash was a struggle for both the runners. Bubs drop, going in blackpear's favor, but you can see if you just switch out a couple of the variables, we can see a race go one way or the other. These two runners are both very talented in their own right, so. blackpear, after Psyched wins, or after Psyched loses it, blackpear's gonna wait on the menu and say, here, you need this time.
Yeah, ruining the frame perfect tie by
Did you see that corner boost?
Yeah.
This guy's insane. Forsaken City, though, I sleep. Is that a demo hyper attempt from some? I clearly did not pay attention. That was a death from blackpear. I noticed that.
How many deaths from Psyched? I didn't see, but probably a lot. Especially considering he lost like over 30 seconds on Summit.
This is gonna be a very good city for Psyched.
Just generally a high death count chapter. Yeah, he's taking a lot bigger lead than you normally expect to see from City in these kinds of races. It's like 9 seconds. That's a lot.
That is a lot from quite a short chapter. blackpear, though, I think he had 2 deaths. Yeah, we can see it right there. 2 deaths. I mean, that's one way to start off a run. Those deaths are going to carry with you for the rest of the race, and that is 9 seconds you cannot make back.
Also, funny how in the last race, Psyched's cleanest chapter was Ridge.
Old set looking good for both these runners. Psych though, I think. Oh, blackpear. He's gonna eat a death on one of the more common spots, missing an ultra here.
Oh
my God.
How did he lose that? I was about to be so sad.
I was like, yeah, he does 2 hypers there, and you try to get in there before battle line can get to you, but when the block carries blackpear to the right, that's exactly in the path of battle and where you want to be. And yeah, Psyched is definitely saying, all right, listen guys, game 1 was a fluke. This blackpear guy, I don't know, but we're gonna see. Again, a lot of times we talk about the lead for these first 2 chapters being negligible, but Psyched is really putting it into perspective now. Yeah, but other than that one death, it was a fairly good old site for blackpear, so definitely nothing to disregard.
That death can just be really annoying though. And like, I think what I saw him mess up is that he goes for the ultra cycle, but does it with hypers.
Yeah.
It's weird. That must be tight.
Psyched getting a head start on Resort. Where are the referees? Clearly unfair, but he's doing his head start with style, doing really well so far. blackpear maybe taking a second to calm himself down. I'm not sure. Maybe some in real life complications. And Psyched having some complications with that dust bunny, going straight first into it, but he'll find his way around it.
Messing up the same cycle that he did last race in the exact same way by bonking his head on the platform as he tried to climb to the other side.
blackpear finally picking his head out of the gutter. You gotta race to run, man, and he is running, he's hyper dashing, and he's getting the key. But Psyched already in huge mess, and this is where we have quite the IGT decent. So
Imagine if you could run in this game. That'd be sick. Would it even be useful?
I don't know. Do you think dashing exerts a lot of physical force for Madeline? Like, do you think Madeline, like, it takes a lot out of her, like, running, but for dashing? You know what I mean?
Actually, don't know. Like, the game never, like, really addresses the fact that she kind of just has that ability. It's kind of weird. So I have no idea, like, any, like, lore behind the ability itself.
Yeah, good question.
Seems pretty seamless, though.
Yeah, she doesn't look like she puts a lot into it. I mean, maybe her hair suffers the most. Do you think, like, she loses a strand of hair every time she dashes?
She would be bald.
That is true. She would fall. Actually, you have a lot of strands of hair, even though you do dash a lot, right?
Yeah, but have you seen like the stat? You know, like the stats page in the journal
Oh, you're
that
right.
like
You're
shows the
right.
global amount of dashes.
Whoa.
Epic misinput there from Psyched.
Oh, Psych's
That's another
losing.
one.
Psych is hearing us and he's saying, wait, does she really lose hair? Has to check the texture real quick. Forgets how to dash. Right into the dust bunny. But speaking of losing hairs, we saw Psych probably want to pull out some hairs after the demo dash last time, going for the checkpoint. Didn't need it though. Didn't need it.
I mean, that's just how it goes. If you don't take the checkpoint, you're not gonna hit it. It's just how it works.
It's just a little bit of confidence. It just changes everything.
That was an incredibly clean first room. Like, I haven't seen many times where they got out of the room that far ahead of Oshiro. Normally you have to deal with the slowdown. He kind of just...
Yeah. Get it out of the park. Oh, black. That was
Yeah,
a very
this is
peculiar misdirect.
it's the same one as last time too.
Speaking of last time, we saw Psyche really lose his bearings in this last room for Oshiro, but thankfully, he's gonna find success this time. Blackbear missed the key. I guess, you know, that thing's pretty key to your success. Anyways, while Psych is giving us a demo of this next chapter, Blackpear is gonna be dashing right through. First try, gets the checkpoint again. As Flavor stated, Schrodinger's demo dash. If you get the checkpoint, you'll get it first try every time. However, if you don't get the checkpoint, you die. It's just an unchangeable law of science.
Both of them having good first screens. The Blackpear going so fast, he flies too far forward on the platform and doesn't get his dash back. But both of them had really nice first Oshiro screens.
Psych with the Ultra, getting momentum from that moving block, carrying it onto himself.
He went too far forward, Blackpear.
That's an unfortunate mistake.
He did it again!
One more for the crowd. Doesn't look like it.
For the fans.
For the fans. Yeah, I don't know how Blackpear's mentality. Small wall jump there. It looks like he should get the same cycle. Oshiro's like, I don't know how Blackpear's mentality is going out for him because I don't know how he feels about winning that first game because rebounding into the second game, it doesn't look good.
Yeah, he's got a 21-second deficit just based off of their Chapter 3 completion time. And of course, you know, Psyched, the Ridge God. Probably not gonna let that slide much
The
more
Ridge
than...
Goat.
Yeah.
You give him an inch and he'll take a mile. Or you give him a centimeter and he'll take a kilometer. Gotta be friendly to all units of measurement. Well, Psych is gonna be friendly to this wind here. Hopefully the snowballs will be friendly to him. Oh. Interesting. In sight, finishing up the Golden Ridge. Blackpear wondering where his dash went. Oh no. Kind of struggling to back it up too from the death.
What were Psyched's time losses this run? I don't like remember something equating to the amount of time that he's lost. Because he's like even slower pace than his last race, which was like a really bad resort. And he had a good resort split on this one. He must have messed something up in Ridge that I didn't see.
We're just so captivated by Blackpear doing his thing. Meanwhile, Psyched here, doing his thing. He's gonna miss that yeet. As he heads off to the cassette room, Blackpear will be heading out into the wind.
Oh no, you had to straight up retrying to start that strat over. That was a weird misinput.
And another death in this room from Blackpear. He died here last run. Similar fashion, I believe. Oh my god,
That snowball.
Well, for every runner, we always have to talk about the bubs drop. But for Psych specifically, it was third try last run, I believe, correct? You remember, Flair?
Yeah, it was third for Psyched and first for Blackpear.
So definitely, if Psych gets this first try, he can start running away with the game, but this can be one of the last big roadblocks for...
That
Oh!
was really early of a jump.
Yeah. Whoops.
It's not a common death to see. Okay, getting the slightly earlier timing that time working out for him.
And off to 5B with Psyched, as Blackpear's going to be delving into 5A. Definitely. Psyched's looking a bit better than last race, for sure. Maybe it's just in comparison to the struggling Blackpear, but more confidence from him. Missing the fast shot in that room for Psych, but that's going to be A-okay. Not too much of a setback. That's Blackpear actually losing a bit more time than Psych did, as he's struggling not only to move throughout that last room, but to get this fast cassette cycle. He set a cycle behind. Still gets the fast one, though.
Much cleaner Secret Gauntlet room that time around. That was like no real mistakes there.
Oh, the coin. Making me nervous, Psych. Ooh. As Blackpear, well, Psyched is going to be finishing 5V. We're going to see hopefully Blackpear getting off to a good start on the right side. No! Oh, that
Swapping
is...
the mistake that Psyched made last time with the slightly late jump press.
Yeah, that's probably just the worst, especially when you're coming from a deficit. Blackpear needs that bubs drop. But... oh my god, he runs out of stamina! That is not a failure you see every day. Second try, third try, I don't know what to call it. Did he even attempt? I don't know.
Second and a half try, pretty much.
We'll call it 2.5.
Oh, that ultra. I
Wow.
forgot he goes for that.
Yep. He's definitely, this guy knows 5B in and out blackpear. Oh my
That
god.
death. That is a textbook punishing death. Those spikes are really mean.
Yeah, if you're looking at blackpear here, it's hard to watch. These are some very unfortunate mistakes he's making. But we still have a little over half of the game to go, so while you do have to say that it'd be hard pressed to see Psych lose this much time, it's not impossible for sure. Yeah, but I don't know what's happening on blackpear's side, because when you play that close to PB, maybe you just took him by shock. I'm not sure. Yeah, Psych has been cruising through chapter 6 so far. I believe he got a first try leg skip, and I haven't seen any deaths on his screen. I might be wrong, but in the fast heart room trap for blackpear, finishing off his 5B, putting a cap on it, signing his name down below, but unfortunately probably not his best work. Yeah, he's checking that journal. Probably a wee bit mad. The show's gonna go on. Psych though has been having a fairly good reflection though. If you're in blackpear's shoes here, the question is, how can I catch up? And that's gonna be some very poor misplay from Psych. I mean, we did see the game one play bear, those summits. The discrepancy between them was a little over 30 seconds, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah, pretty much about 30 seconds.
I mean, yeah, well, of course, we can't say that will automatically happen for this game. Could very well be 30 seconds in the other direction, for all we know, but we need a little something like that for blackpear to come back.
Had so much speed there on blackpear's end. Just shoot straight into the spikes.
It's always amusing to see. Yes, smooth battle line fight so far for Psych. Giving credit where credit is due.
He didn't do the ultra that time. Psyched is 29-28. I don't know if he's uploaded that, but it's a PB that he got recently. Ooh, that ultra strat that Psyched went for.
I saw a death on blackpear's screen of this but I didn't see why, but that's probably unfortunate. I'm assuming it was just at the start.
Because of time difference, it's hard for me to tell. Just because of how desynced their timers are.
It's definitely significant. I'll tell you that. It is. Blackpear's gonna find trouble to get back into the, especially with how Psyched is playing this reflection.
.546 is pretty good for him.
Definitely an extremely respectable reflection time, especially for a race. That's probably some of the best to get it, unless you're watching Flitterby. Into the summit here, and off he's gonna go on, hopefully, an 8.5-minute journey, but we can see plus or minus up to 30 seconds, maybe even more. Probably what most runners would consider the hardest chapter. It's the home stretch, but at the same time, it accounts for almost a third of the run in length. So, yeah, we haven't been talking about blackpear too much at this reflection. So far, he's definitely been playing decent. I don't think he's going to. I think he's going to lose time off of Psych, but for sure, not a lot of major mistakes so far. So, again, if Psych does decide to hit the bed on the summit, which is not something you see every day, but if it does happen, blackpear is playing in form, a lot better than you've seen in these last couple of chapters.
Yeah, unless if Psyched has a really rough summit again, then this should be an easy 29 for him, just based off of the pace that he was entering it. I mean, even with the reflection, or not reflection, the summit time that he got last run, even that would be good enough. And that had some rough deaths in it. I don't know what his ILPB is for summit, but if it's like an 830 or like a sub 830, then he could maybe even PB this run barely, but...
Yeah, we're talking about a game 1 was blackpear almost PB. But game 2, maybe Psyched is saying, alright blackpear, enough of the spotlight, my turn. Wilco coming with a party rate of 76. Welcome to the GSA Speedrun, twitch.tv/speedrun. Thank you for the raid. We're here in game 2 of blackpear versus Psyched. We had blackpear take game 1 with an almost PB run, and now Psyched here taking a commanding lead. And he's looking to take game 2 here, but of course with a death like that,
bonked his head.
You can only imagine how much he can really get ahead.
Because Psyched right now is also on an almost PB run. I brought it up, but I don't want to bet on it just because I don't know if he actually has a sub 830 or not. And that's pretty much what he needs to get a PB on this pace. That's
ultra
scary.
Good backup though. Taking his time on that ending cycle, despite not getting the full speed in. It's definitely Psyched's game to lose here as we head into 2,000 meters on his screen. blackpear stuck in the base. Gonna get his way out shortly, but some demo hypers was like, oh, just a couple units too short there, buddy. Having trouble recovering that one and just going face first into the spikes, but it happens. We've all been there, Psych.
That's one of those moments that's like, That is the first and last time that a player playing Celeste has ever touched that specific block. Which is something that I like feel like when I see something all the time. Like, how do you even make that mistake?
Well, another question is, I don't know, how are you doing today, Flare Bear?
Pretty good.
I'd say if you're psyched right now, you'd be pretty okay as you're off to take this game here. It looks like, again, let's not hype anything up too much yet, but we will have a deciding game 3 for the series if Psych does take this. Oh, and with a death from blackpear, yeah, he's having a lot of trouble responding here, and yeah, flustering through that dream block. There's just simply not enough time left, I don't think, for just how large this lead is.
Psych goes for both of those corner boosts there.
That's crazy. Especially just how punishing a death there can be for just missing a small corner boost.
Looks like it must be a consistent setup, because he's 4 for 4. I'll have to look into that.
Flare Bear stealing strats like the thief he is.
Actually, something I thought about during this race, when I was talking about how good their first Oshiro screens were, I thought about my strat, and I'm like, Oshiro exits the screen before I do. That means I probably lose like 2 or 3 seconds there. My strat's pretty bad for that room. That's actually gonna be what I do next.
Well, Flare Bear is learning. Psyched has learned from a couple of deaths there. What's the quote from the game? Be proud of your death count. The more you die, the more you're learning. Thank you, Matt Thorson, for that knowledge, but we don't really appreciate it because deaths are slow. blackpear is actually struggling a lot on this triple ultra room. He just goes for it anyways. Why not? He does not actually re-enter on the death. That's really peculiar. I feel almost every runner I know re-enters. Yeah, it looks like he actually is. I don't know if he's died enough in this room to know, but he's struggling a lot.
That was a really cool backup. I like that. That he ultraed off of the first pillar instead. I have not seen someone do that before. That was pretty cool.
Alright, well, I guess we should give Psych the spotlight he deserves here. As we talked about blackpear almost being in the first race. Psych isn't too far off either. I'd say definitely it only takes a mediocre 3K to get a sub 30 here, and Psych's PB isn't too far off from that. So we'll see how he does. I mean, he's playing the downdraft well so far. I think he knows, and he wants to set that tone going into that game 3. We saw blackpear a little bit flustered coming into game 2, so you might get to see how that transpires. Oh, blackpear getting another strawberry. Did not lose stamina. He wanted that strawberry. I get it when you're that far behind. Maybe take a bit slow and check out the level a bit. Oh my god! blackpear got crushed by the block. That's probably one of the more enraging deaths. Not gonna let it happen to him on the second time, but the site is just cruising to 3K. It's almost the deed has been done at this point, I have to say. Wow, that death from blackpear, I'm not gonna get over that. Oh my god, and Sight needs to do an up dash, but he's actually gonna go horizontally into those spikes. Maybe going for a demo dash, who knows? Maybe he's hiding some. I'm not sure. And landing down at flag 6 here as blackpear is landing in on 2,500 meters. The last screen here for Psych, the home stretch. And there's not too much that can go wrong. Famous last words. But flag 2 for Psych, blackpear with the key doing well after that 2K death, but it's long gone here as on flag number 1. And
Psych.
he's gonna go back to flag number 1. Finishing out strong as blackpear performs door skip, but that's gonna be game number 2 for Psych. Very nicely done. Again, beating actually blackpear's PB, so weird flex, but okay, as the kids.
Bopping Marlon's PB by 1 second.
Yeah, blackpear still has a mountain to climb. Going off into 3K. And definitely, like I said, when you're going into this best of 3, well, I guess 3 races, but it becomes a best of 3 series when these players are tied up 1-1, and just going into this 3rd race confidence very important, because we saw Psych just took a lead from the start and he ran away with it. So for sure, that's not something we were going to want to see. If you're a blackpear, you do not want to see that happen again. So we want to make sure he finishes out this 3K strong, as we're going to head into game 3. Cruising through off these springs, flag 13 for blackpear. Hopefully now, I know he might have had some nerves going into this game, but I hope those have all emancipated. Is that even the right word? I don't know. Clearly not, as he struggles to get that wall back. A significantly worse time than his first game for blackpear, so hopefully we're definitely, for the sake of a good game 3, hopefully this will turn up. But and yeah, not getting his dash back there. Struggling would be a good way to describe it for blackpear here. And into the last screen here. 5 flags to go as he tags in on the 4th one. And the 3rd one, a wall bounce into that feather. Little diagonal dash through those spikes. Touching flag number 2. Sometimes you skip it, sometimes you don't. Oh well, that's just how the strat works. And finally flag number 1 for blackpear, as he's conquered the mountain for the 2nd time. Unfortunately, probably not as fast as he'd hoped to, but it's all about the climb, and you gotta get there in the end. 31-39 for blackpear, finishing off game 2, so definitely a extremely decisive win for Psych, but we'll have to see, because it all comes down to this game number 3. Now, for those who are not familiar with the format of the Any Percent League here, first of all, if you're curious, you can go check out in the description this channel. I think ! standings is a command. I'm not sure about that, but you can see the standings for all leagues, including the Celeste League. The way the scoring works is that you play 3 races, and each race win results in 1 point, and if you win the series, you get an extra point. So that means that since we are tied at 1-1 here, the winner of the next game will win the series, so this game actually counts for 2 points, so it is a very important game. This is where, if our runners have been struggling in the past series of these games, they really want to show up, so the stakes are double.
Yeah, that seems like a really weird shift in confidence, but hopefully it pulls right back around for this last game. Pair just seemed so strong just starting out, so I don't know what made the difference there, but Yo, and thanks for
Nero.
the host from Nero.
Thanks for the host from Nero.
I was actually just watching his stream on the side of this race. That's why I was a little quiet, but he literally just got second place in All Red Berries.
Oh,
So, congrats to him. He got a
congratulations to Nero
53.29.
for the host. 53.29. That is a very good time. The new kid on the block. Not really the new kid on the block, but very new to the ARB category and just destroying it. But we'd like to welcome everyone here. We are at probably one of the better times to host. We have Psyched versus blackpear here. Game number 3, all tied up at 1-1. Of course, I like to ask the chat here. What are our opinions here? I mean, Flair, who do you think's gonna win?
I am not sure. I hope to see a change in play from blackpear here because, like, obviously if it continues as it does, Psyched is just looking way stronger. I think it just took him warming up from the first match to get more comfortable. Because, you know, even if blackpear gets another good run like he did in the first one, he would have to PB by 20 seconds to keep up with that. So, like, I'm not sure if it looks hard for blackpear, but I wanna believe in him.
For sure. I do. You know, after that second race from Psyched, it's hard to not put him as the favorite for this third game. But again, blackpear is definitely a more than capable player to smash his PB, as we saw in the first race. So, of course, while we're waiting here in chat, if you want to participate yourself, how about we get a P if you're rooting for Psyched here, and a V if you're rooting for blackpear. Please don't put the V emoji. Please don't. We're gonna be starting up here soon, but we have some nice time to talk about this match. And this is the second week only, so these matches aren't too influential. It's more just getting points on the board. And again, whoever loses here, they still have 1 point on the board. So still definitely coming out of this match in a better standing than they came into it. So that's. And I think we're just about ready for quite possibly the best game 3 of the Celeste League. Are you ready, Flair?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. Oh no. And they're off. Or blackpear is off. Psyched is joining him. Here we go. We're in the prologue. Here it is. Now we talked about it. I usually, when I like to commentate my matches, I mentioned that these first 2 chapters, including the prologue, are almost negligible. They're so small, they're so little, that they count for not a lot of time of the run. But last race, we did see Psyched pull quite a convincing lead based off of some failures from blackpear and a couple of deaths. But we'll see how it goes this time. Hopefully, we'll see these runners stay neck and. And as we're confronted by the words, "You can do this," our runners will take that encouragement to heart, as they'll not collect hearts, but tactfully avoid them. Blackpear getting an accidental corner boost, eating the spikes already. That's one way to start the run.
Chat showing the Bs for blackpear. They want to believe in the upset here, even though it would be a slight one.
I think chat wants a PB. I think that's what we saw. A PB from maybe both of these runners we could get. I wouldn't rule it out of the possibilities, you know?
Yeah, we also saw the B emojis, which, you know, you inadvertently asked them to do it by not asking them to do it, so
That
was
is how Twitch chat works, so. Alright, well, Forsaken City is the chat. And it's a very fast-paced chapter, but it's also the most practiced chapter for most, because it's right at the start of the run, so. It's essentially your Cap Kingdom or your bomb battlefield of Celeste.
You're welcome to Mafia Town, if you will.
Are we just gonna talk about other games? Is that gonna be what it's about?
Yeah.
Speaking of the game at hand, Sight is gonna be taking a lead. A decent one. We saw blackpear eating some spikes on the first screen, so about 4 seconds. But other than that,
good time out of the first chamber for each of the chapter for each of them.
Chapter, yeah.
I mean, timepiece. Never mind. I'll stop. I think
right,
I think I messed that one up.
Our runners are coming up on a shine. Wait. No, that's a dream block. Man, it gets confused sometimes. Okay, so blackpear's on a 3-player kill streak. Wait, no. You don't. This game's PG-13. I think Sight player. I'm a bit overwhelmed right now. I don't know. I almost called you Sight as well.
Have you played this game before? Ever?
No, I haven't. Sorry.
Me either, but we'll try our best to commentate what we think is happening anyway.
Okay, pretty standard old Sight so far for both our runners. Sight is only about a screen ahead, which comes from his lead from City, but other than that, our runners just keeping pace with each other out of the gate here. I'm curious if blackpear will go for the same strat here that he did the run before. Well, wow, yeah, I guess it does work. Those hyper. Oh my god! Oh my god!
That was legendary.
He got himself stuck into a corner with 5 hyperspeed battle line chasing him, and he said, "You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna dash upright," and he threads the needle. Wow, that's incredible. And he's gonna maintain his lead because of that. That's probably, if he were to die there, it's one of the most punishing deaths you can have in Old Sight, but skillfully avoids it, I'm sure. He did the numbers. He weighted the beats of the metronome, and he just weaved his way through the... And neck and neck here. What more could you want for this game 3 other than going into Resort practically even? Alright, be proud of your death count. The more you die, the more you're learning. Keep going. That was the quote I think I tried to quote. How well did I do? I don't remember.
That is a very peculiar death. I have not seen a death to the dust bunny on the ceiling there.
Definitely a new one in our book. Of course, the best thing about no reset runs is you always get those "that's never happened before" moments. You know when you're playing a video game and you go, "Wow, that's never happened." Well, that probably happened to blackpear there. Unfortunate, Sight will capitalize off of it, but again, just only a room difference between those two. Those two. Skillfully maneuvering their way through their cycles here, as we've only seen the start of cycles here in Celestial Resort.
Do you think performing corner boost is painful? Like for Madeline?
I don't know. I mean, like, if you've played Mirror's Edge, I'd picture it a lot more like the vault in Mirror's Edge, like when she grabs onto it real quick and then she just throws herself over it and catapults with speed. That's what I picture it.
That makes sense.
But I don't know, like, maybe she like stubs her toe all the time and it just works. And maybe it hits a lot.
Yeah, no, you have to be on the top 2 pixels of the block. She probably just hits it with her legs every time. She's probably got like terrible knees from all the corner boosts.
Oh, Sight is taking a death in this room. That's actually gonna put blackpear not quite ahead. We have a timer desync, but basically ahead in real time. So we'll keep it going.
Psyched has failed that room in all 3 races of this set.
You hate to see it. Alright, basically mirroring each other here, the runner. Both nailing this fast cycle in this bookshelf room. Oh, blackpear got corner boost. Ooh. Oh, but he just walks right. He just ruined it, black. He got such a cool strat, and then he just walked into a dust spot.
And on the contrary, blackpear has failed that room in all 3 races.
I guess some habits never die. I wish Madeline was my habit, so she would never die. But unfortunately, she dies a lot.
Chat brings up a good point. Spike jumps are probably painful.
Ooh, yeah. Yikes. I mean, like,
You probably get like
how that even works.
scratched. You probably get like scratched up by it because you're like scraping against the back of it. You know, like you like
Yeah.
you go against it from behind.
What do you think about demo dashing through the bunnies here? Like, how does Madeline feel about that? Well, our runners are feeling pretty good because we have 2 first tries, both getting the checkpoint, but stay neck and neck. That's all that really matters here. Maybe Flare Bear will be surprised at their first or Shiro strats here. In sync. Like
Wow.
nails. Blackpear also just killing it. Oh, Psych with a death though. Blackpear's taking a slower cycle, but he's not gonna die, so they are completely synced. Yeah, that happens. I mean, and not only are they completely synced, but they're completely synced here, like both on good paces. So
Yeah, that's a good point.
they're showing up here. This is the game for you want.
That's what I was hoping for.
Flare Bear, they listen to you. Just to you.
The players always listen to me. It happens every time. That's why I'm the guy that always curses people.
Huh. Well, 2 deaths for both of out of Yeah, speaking of things that would cause Madeline pain, there's no fall damage in this. Like, I know we skipped the cutscene, but like, you know the chapter 6 cutscene where she falls all the way to the bottom?
I mean, yeah, she also just like breaks through like 10 spike walls, so that's probably pretty painful. Actually,
Yeah.
you know what? If she's completely fine after that, I think she's probably okay with doing spike jumps.
Yeah, never
Probably
mind.
got some pretty hefty clothes on.
And she also like falls into the water. And like the water isn't like bloodstained at all or anything, it's just there. Oh, both our runners eating a death in the same room. Whoa, we're commentating a race, Flare Bear. That's crazy. I personally do not believe it. But we're gonna have to believe in these runners here as they head off into the Golden Ring. And pretty much an eye for an eye here. For each time blackpear takes ground, Psych's gonna get some back, especially with blackpear missing the cloud there for the first time, and he's gonna take a lead. And yeah, we are right on each other. There's no time to breathe.
The first race was a win for
Oh.
blackpear, and it was by... How much was it? What was Psych's time in the
30
first race?
seconds.
Yeah, it was by 30 seconds, pretty much, or like 39 seconds. It was a bit more. And then in the second race, it was a large gap for Psyched. Blackpear had a big change in mentality, it looked like, and confidence in the second race, but he's been definitely already shown to have improved off of that.
Yeah, we're
He
actually
had-
gonna look at.
He had a
Oh,
large
sorry.
deficit out of the early game.
In this ridge, we saw the ridge goat, Psyched himself, come down to his knees as he ate 2 or 3 deaths in one room, and because of that, we actually have a lead change here where blackpear is slightly ahead. Breaking the sync, unfortunately. The only reason I'm watching this stream is because it's so synced. But it's like keeping us on our heels. As our runners are going to be running and dashing on their heels here as they're taking great care in this win section. Psych is struggling a lot in this room, but he's eventually going to make it through. No death, so that's good. Oh, and another death for Psych. Not a very good ridge from him. We're going to see blackpear striking first in the golden ridge, taking the lead again for the first time since game 1. And remember, even in game 1, blackpear didn't have a lead until the summits. Definitely looking good for him, but heading into chapter 5, a lot can change. And the measly seconds that separate these runners can be pulled apart, as we know. So, for those who don't know, we do the B-side here. Getting the cassette from the A-side, the secret collectible to unlock the harder variant of the level, and completing that harder variant of the level is faster than completing the full A-side. This level has a decent amount of cutscenes to it that we either have to skip, or like some story elements that we can't really skip, and because of that, the B-side is just infinitely more faster. Significantly more faster, almost 20 seconds faster. But it revolves around a very cool trick. Cool, debatably, but we call it the Bubs drop. And we're gonna see here, both runners not having the cleanest of 5As so far, but they're doing their job. Oh my god, Psych completely lifts the floor there. Just going off into no man's land off that dash block. And into the tape room for blackpear. Very nice tape room. Now it's Psych's turn to play catch up.
Yeah, having a good run so far.
And he looks good on the tape cycle too. Very nicely done. Alright, the most important part of this run for the remaining of it is going to be this Bubs drop here. This is a trick that loses about 10 seconds for each attempt, and it can really get some runners stuck. You have a 2 frame window to input a jump. I believe it's a 3 frame window to input it, and then you have to let go within 2 frames. If you do not get it, you have to go back to the map. Optimally, unless
blackpear took it first try in race 1 and second try in race 2,
and he misses
putting
it
too early
Oh,
that
no.
time.
Well, this is Psych's chance. He did struggle a bit behind in 4A. We're gonna see how we can do. Oh, and we're synced again. We're synced. We're synced, babe. All right, let's see it. Who's gonna get it? They both get it. All right. So, oh, what Psych misdirects was that? Okay. I mean, what's important is he got a first try, and because of the IGT desync, he will be in the lead. But wow, this is a lot closer. blackpear had the lead going into 5B because of Psych 4A, but after that missed Bubs drop attempt. Oh, we're synced again. Hello. Well, not really. They're just in the same room.
That's gotta be an unfortunate time loss though, just because, not just in terms of it having psyched catch up, but also blackpear was 20 seconds ahead of his PB, like out of that. So which means it still should be an alive pace for him, but
yeah, our runners are almost neck and neck here.
yeah, even with that missed Bubs drop, this is like still a very alive run for him in terms of PB potential, which is cool to see. Because like that first race, he missed it by only 5 seconds, and he had a lot of early game mistakes that he could capitalize off of.
Oh,
Yeah, now we have the timer resync. So now we can see the actual pace. Psyched is very slightly ahead, just because of slight time losses.
This is incredible. Oh! Did someone say commentator's curse? It's like eating the dust on this seeker boost here. That's unfortunate. blackpear is going to be taking the lead because of it. Yeah. Unless blackpear.
Oh no!
My God!
I've never seen
You
that.
got with death I've never seen before. We are even again. We're even. What is happening?
He went too fast. He got the boost off the Seeker by accident. That was actually crazy.
Well, this series is delivering in more ways than one here, and as they're in the same room, Sight is gonna be pulling ahead again, just barely. No, he's not. He's going to eat a death in this room, and we're going to be going to chapter 6. And I don't know what's happening anymore, Flare Bear. I don't know what's happening. Sight is gonna miss the fast jet in this last room for 5v, and that's gonna give blackpear the ever so slight edge.
Who gave us permission to commentate? We're literally ruining the integrity of the tournament. Everything we say turns into a death.
Alright, well, I think it's now that we reflect upon our mistakes as commentators, and these runners, they're going to be reflecting upon their mistakes as it's so close, but yet we've seen so many mistakes. But it's okay, as we're going to be heading into chapter 6. This lake's first try for blackpear. This is probably one of the only real quote-unquote tricks left in the run, things that runners can get hung up on easily. And psyched, I was ready to curse in there. Thankfully, he did not. It's a 3-frame window, I believe. But nowadays, just with tricks like Demo Dash and Bubs Drop, the trick is almost obsolete in difficulty. Yeah, we can basically see one death right here is all it takes for Psych to be back in the lead. And with almost 14 minutes left in the game. Blackpear, thankfully he got his dash back, but he's struggling a lot in this room. Wow, okay. Did not eat a death though, so that's really good for him.
Getting that ultra that time.
Yeah, almost hit the spikes there. So. Oh boy. They're both playing incredibly well. So, this is definitely the game 3 we wanted. Heading off into Hollow so far. Blackpear had that one mistake, but other than that, he's killing it. Sight is definitely making up that time, but because of the lead Blackpear has coming out of Chapter 5, I think he's definitely still in the lead. I can change it in a moment's notice. So, wow, he skipped the first bumper. That is a known strat, but a very cool strat at that. And top route for Blackpear. Looks like he's doing well. Doesn't get the full bumper boost, but that's okay. The top route for Sight. Oh, also struggles with the bumper. Both runners kind of failing that spot. It's okay.
I mean, yeah, in both cases, they both, like, did what they needed to, but they had a wrong angle off of the bumper, so they didn't get, like, their full speed.
Must have had their calculator. Oh no!
Oh, he dashed the wrong way.
Getting the bumpers. Oh.
He had the opportunity to save that, but he probably panicked. He immediately dashed up, and he didn't really have enough room to drift over to a bumper to save himself.
Well, Blackpear now with the lead.
Oh, taking it slow.
No, he's
hyper.
struggling with his movement. What's happening, Blackpear? The second we look at someone's screen, they mess up. I don't know. Also, I feel really bad that Psych died there because I was gonna make my epic joke because you mentioned the word angle, so I was gonna say his calculator was in radians, not in degree. But we're a bit past that now, as we're gonna be heading into the battle line section of the fight with a quick battle line boost. When you're already moving on a Kevin block and then you hyper dash, you just get a lot of speed. And that speed can carry you right into spikes, as Blackpear is showing us with some different speed. Yeah, we'll see here. Okay, Psyched also dying in the same room in a different patch of spikes, just one spike over. But oh, and that is a really bad death from Psyched. Late into a battle line room. That is not something you want to see. I think that's definitely a more comfortable lead for Blackpear, but how comfortable can the lead get in this series? That's my question. The answer, not very. As we've seen back and forth, but for now, Blackpear just has to do his thing. still a lot of battleline fight left to go, and a whole nother chapter, the longest chapter in the game, may I add. But blackpear's killing it so far with a couple of deaths from Psych. We can breathe. Ultra dash strategy working out for Psych there. Saves about a second over what blackpear did when it comes to taking the feather. But some nice corner moves from blackpear. Again, you just look at either one of these schemes right now and you see both their runners are playing to their potential. It's really good to see. Alright, so here Battleline did us a favor. Madeline is not a mountain climber, and she's trying to help. I think the line gets more amusing every time I see it. Just like Madeline zooming through the mountain at like Mach speed, and just you're not a mountain climber. It's like, okay, Madeline, okay.
All right. I mean, Madeline may not be a mountain climber at the moment, but Madeline, have you met blackpear by chance?
Exactly. And maybe she'll meet Psyched. The question is, which one will she meet first? As we're heading our way down.
Yeah,
down.
The speedrun of this game is just the New Game Plus version where Madeline already knows how to climb the mountain. Oh no! He went for the fast feather cycle and he got stuck. If you go for the fast feather cycle and you barely don't make it, then you have to sit through that little extra transition. And that will kill you. Playing it safe there, dashing a little bit further upwards.
Oh my god, he almost died again. This is very close right now. That's probably one of the most punishing deaths in Reflection.
That's gotta hurt.
And there's a decent on the timers, but this is so close. Game number 3, Psyched vs blackpear, and it's going to the summit. I mean, to see who's ahead. Oh, we're I don't know. Who's ahead? A 610 for blackpear and a 610 or 606 for Psych. Probably not very good reflection times for both of them. Both suffering 3 deaths, but oh, the summit is what it's gonna come down to here. The 8-minute long chapter, almost 9 minutes, that features a tidbit of every single chapter we've seen before, with 2 dashes. It's quite high octane. There are a lot of mistakes in this chapter aren't too punishing. The most punishing death we can see is if a runner retries instead of skipping cutscene in between checkpoints. But it's gonna be a lot of pure movement that's gonna dictate who's gonna win this one. Game number 3, the summit, Psyched vs blackpear. Are you prepared, Flare Bear?
No, there's so much to take in right now. I'm also, you know, this is always a habit that I tend to have. Is just worried about their own paces, and blackpear right now, with an amazing summit, can actually PB. So I'm definitely gonna be watching him as we go through this. Missing the coin.
But, oh my god, he is juggling.
Backing it up well. It's one of the better options you have to back it up there.
A good backup, but that's definitely... You look at Psych's screen, and he's definitely ahead right now.
Yeah, blackpear needs he needs a sub 840, pretty much. And in the first race he got an 837. That would definitely suffice for a 29, but...
And you have to imagine here, we're talking about the series about how back and forth it was, where game 1 we saw blackpear playing significantly better, and game 2 we saw, well, not significantly better, but, oh, Psyched, eating the dust there. But speaking of Psyched, game 2 we saw him really turn. But this game 3, you have to wonder, like, who's really playing better? I mean, we saw a lot of minor movement mistakes from Psyched, but we saw some massive failures for blackpear in the sense of a bubs drop failure and a death in the feather room for Battleline. So again, it all comes down to the sun. But of course, 2 very very different kinds of mistakes for both these runners throughout the series. But we're basically on the same room here, going to 1.5k, and we're killing it. This is what it's all about right here. And as we touch down here, 1.5k has one of the more punishing cycles. Again, a lot of runners do struggle to get these cycles. Our runners are usually fairly well conditioned to get these incredibly fast cycles, as we'll see in this next long room that Psych is taking on, and blackpear is joining him in some ultra dashes. You'll be able to stick right under that dust bunny that blackpear was not able to. I respect the play there.
It's good he realized that he was behind though, because taking
Psych?
a death there would be terrible.
Psych didn't get the fastest cycle in this room, but that's okay. Reacted well. Again, our runners are reacting incredibly well to these mistakes that are thrown at them here. That's why these runners are still so close. But yeah, in the same room. Oh, missing!
That's a really annoying one. I hate when that happens.
He wall bounces into the dust bunny. That's a very poor mistake from Black. Psych is going to start to run away with this lead here. We're going from the same room to about a room difference here, as Psych is going to land into 2,000 meters significantly earlier than blackpear is able to. However, again, this is like one death territory here, and we still have 5 more minutes of this run left. We have a lot of time for one death. Ultra dashes for Psych work out very well. Oh, but that one's not going to work out well for blackpear, as that's going to ultra dash right into the you die there. So auto scroller skip working out well for Psych.
Okay, yeah, I was about to say, he got put off cycle. If blackpear continued there as normal, he would have died. But he realized, slowed down, waited for the snowball.
Another good auto scroller skip for blackpear. I mean, we've seen the small mistakes. Definitely a big one for blackpear. That's the reason why Psych's so ahead right now. It is anyone's game. It is anyone's game. Only about a room separates these runners. And we can see a room be made up in an instant. In a flash. In a dash, per se. Psych dropping down in 2.5k. blackpear to join him short. Corner boost for Psych again. Is it 6 for 6 on that now?
Yeah.
blackpear not taking those corner boosts. Oh no!
He went for the downwards corner boost dash there. That's crazy that he went for that, but it really hurt him.
That's an incredibly punishing death. Psych's starting to run away with it. He's just not making mistakes while blackpear is. I mean, that 2k was fairly stable for both these runners, but that just 2 deaths is what separates them right now. And 2 punishing deaths at that. But we cannot rule anyone out. And the door skip here for Psych. He gets one and he gets the second one. Beautiful. Love to see. Heading off on the final battle line orb room here. blackpear failing to thread the needle. Again, these sets add up. He is behind here. He needs to play flawless to get himself back into this. As Psych is going to land down in the final checkpoint of the game, 3,000 meters. Looking to take the game number 3 and win the series. Again, this match is worth 2 for the series and the game. But blackpear is going to be quick on the response here. He does not want to let Psych run away with it. Touching down here as Psych is heading his way onto flag 20. blackpear will touch down flag 29. And it's an all-out race to the summit, to the peak. Who is the better mountain climber? blackpear, Psych? We will find out in this downdraft section here. The wind is pushing down against you. I guess that's how wind works. You have increased gravity, and blackpear is going to be showing it off here as he's struggling to get the height required to get all the way up there. He's going to eat another death. This is looking very grim for blackpear. As Psych completes it flawlessly. He's been playing the summit actually incredibly well. However, finally things are stabilizing out. But Psyched is going to stabilize back at flag 17 because he's going to take a death. Not the worst one you can see, but definitely not enough for blackpear to come back. We need a very good 3K from blackpear to look into it, or some mistakes from Psych. And I don't know what's gonna happen. Not blackpear. Psych almost missed that button there, or the spring, but he's gonna be able to complete flag 13. But on flag number 12, another small death. Nothing too big. Blackpear is still a good amount behind, but if those deaths add up, we can definitely see blackpear coming back into it. Flag 13 going out well for blackpear. Flag number 10, getting grabbed by Psych. That's not something you see every day. Maybe the nerves are coming in. Maybe he knows. I'm not sure. Maybe it just wasn't even intentional. He's not even thinking about it. But in full autopilot here as flag number 9 goes well for him. Blackpear's about a flag behind. Oh, but that is a really bad death for Psych. That's another one for blackpear. Our runners are responding with each other's deaths, and I just don't know what to think anymore. As Psych is going to be the first one onto the Badline Crystal, but blackpear's joining him shortly. This is incredibly close, but there's not a lot of time left for blackpear to make it up here. Psych entering the last screen of Celeste any percent, and touching down on flag number 4 before Psych or blackpear's even going to enter the screen. One death is all it takes here. The deaths on the screen, other than maybe flag 1, can be quite punishing. But Psych getting that diagonal back, he's going to work for it. Or blackpear touching on flag number 3, while Psych's going to skip flag number 2. And onto flag number 2. Psych goes. Blackpear's going to join him. Psych's going to touching on flag number 1. That's all he needs to beat the game. Blackpear coming in shortly behind him.
And getting a 30 flat, that's... The blackpear is just short, just barely short.
And it was so incredibly close between them. A 30-0 for blackpear, a 30-13 for blackpear, for Psych, and a 30-13 for black. That is an incredibly close game 3. That's the game 3 we wanted, Flair, right?
Yeah, I mean... Yeah, that's going to be a really disappointing summit for blackpear, but it made up for a really exciting ending to watch, but...
And I mean, how much better can you get for that in game 3? I think that this series was definitely one of the closer ones I think we expected, but wow, that surely delivered all the way until the last screen. And I mean, yeah, you can see the deaths here, 20 for Psych and 16 for blackpear. Less deaths onto blackpear, because I didn't mention he had some more punishing mistakes. I mean, if you look at it, just one Bubs drop failure, and all of a sudden we have a 3-second deficit.
We'll get an interview shortly, hopefully, but just judging by blackpear's messages, he seems less sad about it than I am. Blackpear is really, really chill.
But yeah, and I mean, he could have easily PB'd 2 of those runs there, so it's quite incredible. I'd really like to see him get that sub 30 sooner rather than later.
Yeah,
I
no,
mean,
that run had a lot of mistakes going through the ending. Like, the summit lost a decent bit of time. The reflection had some deaths in it, like maybe 2, if I remember right. And he missed Bubs drop, and it was still on pace. So, like, he has so much potential to smash that time. I hope he gets that soon. He probably will.
I mean, yeah, what's so good, blackpear did win a run race, so he did get a point on the board there. Very nicely done for him, even though Psych does end up taking the series in the end. And I think we are joined by Psych here.
Yeah, hello.
Hey.
Oh man, that last race was really close. Like, most of the time I had my second monitor off, but I looked for the enter of Summit where blackpear was, and I think we entered at like the same second.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, pretty
was
much.
insane. And I had a really good pre-K and died a couple times in 3K, and I didn't know who won like in the end.
It was definitely a close one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so of course, congrats on winning the series here, 2-1 over blackpear. So yeah, GG's to you on that. GG's to blackpear as well, who won't be joining us for an interview today. But I just have one big question for you, Psych, because we saw I want to ask about how bouncing back from mistakes worked between the game 1 and game 2, because game 1 was the only game you lost this series, and we did see some very punishing things, such as, I believe, a checkpointless demo dash fail and a third try Bubs drop. and you recoiled back from that really well, and you actually were able to beat blackpear's PB in a very commanding game too. Was there any change in mentality for you, or was it just different side of the coin? Would you like to talk to us about that?
I don't know. I usually just do better in the second race because there's not as much pressure as in the first one. I'm not as nervous. I don't know.
Uh,
The first race was going very well up until Demo Dash. I was very like the pace was insane. I was super confident, and I went for checkpointless, and it didn't work out. And then I turned a sub 420 resort in a 448, I think. It wasn't the greatest thing. And then I missed like 2 times Bub's drop in 5B.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
remember that.
that lost me a lot of time.
yeah,
There were
for
just
sure.
It was just a couple small things that made that first race so far behind.
Yeah, I had like 3 really punishing deaths and a really bad 1K or 500 meters, I think, in Summit. But the rest was pretty solid. Yeah, but I'm glad that that it was a close race, and yeah, like that blackpear was really good in the first race. He almost beat his own PB. He got very close to the 29.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but thank you so much, Seg, for joining us, and congrats on winning the race. We do have to wrap fairly shortly here. I just want one more thing before you do have to go. I believe you're facing Scrublord next week, right?
I actually don't know. You no, I'm facing Moose next week.
Moose, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I have the page open. It's lying to me apparently, but any thoughts on that match?
That's gonna be a close one. Moose has been grinding a lot lately and getting back into any percent, and all our races have been very close. So that's gonna be a good one to watch, I guess.
All right, well, we will look forward to it. Again, on the mic has been me and Flame. And GG's to Psyched and blackpear. Make sure you're following anyone you're interested in, and also make sure you're following Speedrun here at GSA where it's at. We're going to be throwing it over to some 70 star Do Whatever versus Rock Chalk 19. Division 1, so this is the real stuff. Hope you guys enjoyed that. I think that's going to be all for us today.
Yeah. See you guys later.